purpose for this episode is to try out tons of chest exercises and kind of rank them from the greatest one ever to
the worst one.
the not so good ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we go. The first one out is the old school bench press. One of the exercises that's been in my program ever since, I don't know, the last 30 years or so. It's a bit like they usually say that all the reps below 200 kilos are pretty heavy. And then for some reason they feel easier when it gets heavy. That used to be like the truth. Bench press, in my book, is a superior exercise. It builds big, solid chest and strength. Also good shoulders and tricep. But with all complex exercises, it's also very important to know how to do this exercise for your own maximum benefit. This has always been my pride and joy. We both just came from the chiropractor, so we're like super soft today. The reason why I say bench press is a quite complicated exercise is because the way you bring down the weight and the reason why you bring down the weight can be done in so many different ways. For myself, I always used bench just as a strength trainer. I never really competed in benching that way, so I want to get as much of the movement from my chest muscles. So you have to find a stand that's not too wide, not too tight, because if you go too narrow, you will use more tricep. If you go too wide, you're just trying to shorten the distance and more using shoulder. And then how to bring it down. So you don't bring it down by too much arms, and try to take down your chest as wide as you can. So like I said, done right, it's a really good chest exercise. And if you only do it to get big numbers up, well, then you do the exercise a little bit different. But for me, I'm in the gym to get strong, and then when I have the strength, then I can play with the exercises, how to compete in them. But as a strength gainer and chest builder, upper body strength in general, bench, in my book, has always been. But I'm an old school guy, you know. So I'm going to leave you, David, with the bench, and I'm going to do the old man's bench, which is the Smith machine bench.
Okay.
In the old days, I never did this. More than in rehab. Now it's something I use quite often. It's a very safe way to train chest without really involving the shoulders so much. As much as I love bench, it's quite rough on the shoulders if you're starting to have problems with them. So right now this is kind of my key exercise. I do half the chest workout in this machine. People will immediately ask why I don't use the full range. I seldomly do. For me, it's from the chest and up. The very last part is mostly locking out the shoulders and tricep, which I don't have any problems with, but it gives me pain, so I don't do it. In all chest exercises, you have to try to find where you get the strength from, and you want to feel that the strength and the movement starts with the chest coming up, not pushing too much like this. So back in the day when I was lifting heavy, then you want to involve everything. So you go with your chest, you go with your tricep, and back then I had really big arms, so I was trying to hold quite narrow on everything, because then I could use the chest together with the arms and come up with pretty big numbers. But we're not here for that today. So today we're here to try to just use the chest as much as we can. You want to have the bar down where you flex your chest. You don't flex your chest up here.
Yep.
So keep the bar quite low.
So now you have to place it into the list.
I would say I would give it a D.
A D?
Yeah.
Okay, so not very good then. No.
For the average guy,
Yeah.
for the normal healthy guy, I would say it's somewhere there.
Okay.
I would say the bench press is much better because it will create a stronger upper body, and it will allow you to build speed into the bar faster. For me, this sounds bragging, but I have the strength, and for me it's more like a way to keep myself moving, and for me it's a superior exercise. If you ask me, as any day of the week, But I think for the average guy, the bench is better. There's some other exercises I will show you later that are much better, but it's certainly not a bad event either.
Maybe we put it in a C. D sounds...
Let's give it a C. Let's give it a C.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1, upp! Lätt, en. Bra. Snyggt, det räcker där.
It's the back. It's my back.
Next out in this test is one quite common exercise you can see in most of the gyms. I've done so many thousands of workouts with dumbbells and bars, so it's kind of nice to do something else. The hard part with this kind of machines is that it's such a big difference between two machines that just looks the same. One can be excellent and the other one can be useless. It's all depending on how much stretch it will give you and how you can apply your strength.
How does it feel?
I kind of like it. It really gives you good stretch and pull in the end position, or in the bottom, which is the critical one. For myself, I'm always looking for the biggest stretch and then a pull where you have a constant resistance. So I don't want exercises where it goes easy kind of halfway through and stuff like that. But yeah, let's put some weight on it. For myself, in all chest exercises, when you have to place yourself, the most important stuff is where you land in the bottom. Up here, that's secondary. So you have to measure yourself in the bottom position. You also have to keep in mind when I rank stuff that, you know, some of these exercises have served me for 30 years. So they're gonna score higher. I don't care how useless they are, they're still gonna score really high.
What do you think about this one, David?
We'll soon find out what I think about it.
I can tell you what I like and what I don't like. I like the stretch phase is really, really good. And as you come up here,
really
it's good.
tight.
Here is good. But what happens here is that you tend to do that. You want to stay with your shoulder low and press through with your chest, right? You open up, sideways, like that.
Do we have a verdict or do you have to wait a little bit?
Looking good.
One more way.
One more.
It's kind of similar to the one we did on the Samuelsson pass.
Yeah, right, yes.
Yeah. But
the everyday Joe workout,
yeah.
we kind of fucked it up after a while because me and David
You went outside the program.
went away and did our regular stuff.
Yeah.
And we were really tired afterwards.
Yeah.
What I said before on the bench is actually very true. You know, all this light stuff, I find it a little bit boring and also a little bit tiring, since you don't get any adrenaline, you don't get any like action into it. So as soon as the bar gets heavy, when you get serious, then all the pain disappears, everything starts to feel light again. Then it's just a joy.
Time for the ranking.
Time for the ranking. You also have to take into consideration that I'm 6'6.5" or 6'7". So most of the machines has a range or an arc that doesn't really, I wasn't the guy that they were aiming for. So this one, I really like it, but for me as a tall guy, it comes in a little bit too early. Therefore, otherwise I love the feeling, I love the stretch it gives. I'm sure it can build some solid muscle mass in this one quite effortless. With a little bit wider range of motion, I would give it an A, but now we like a B.
Okay. And for another guy which is shorter, maybe an A.
Yeah, definitely an A.
Yeah.
Solid.
I agree with his choice of.
So you would say it's a B?
Yeah. B, yeah. I think it goes together a bit too early.
Yeah.
So it's more like
Right.
than.
Yeah.
It's also really hard to concentrate, because this is something you could never see 20 years ago when I started. I was on the first contest when they introduced the Viking press.
Second event then, the Viking press. Now each competitor must press 160 kilogram weight to straight arms as many times as they possibly can.
It's like an nowadays old school strongman exercise. It was either in World Muscle Power in Scotland it first appeared, or in the Finland Grand Prix in Helsinki. Doesn't really matter, I was in both of them. But this is quite cool thing to see.
But first up we've got one of the experts. This is Magnus Samuelsson, going for as many repetitions as he can manage. 160 kilograms of course, almost 350 pounds in English money. And Samuelsson setting a very, very good time here. Oh, here we go. 13, he's got 2. 14. How many more? And they're judging those straight arms. That's 15 by the look of things for Magnus Samuelsson.
And actually a lovely exercise. It will help you to create strength in upper body, shoulders, tricep. Plus the cold factor is super high in my world. It's a shoulder exercise and we're doing chest today, but next time I will do shoulders when I'm here. I will play with it.
Right.
This gym is huge and they have tons of chest exercise.
Right. Which one is the next one then?
So now in this machine you can do tons of different chest exercises, and we're just gonna play with the 2 most common ones.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna do some cable exercises, and we're gonna start off with one exercise that I actually learned quite recently on a film set
All right.
that was run by the gym owner called Nikolai Jörgensen.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you're welcome. Hope you enjoy the nice little place that we have.
I love this place. It's everything is in perfect condition, but it still has this old school atmosphere in it, which is lovely.
What are the exercises that we're doing now? Is it the
Yeah, we do the
thing?
We do the mirror thing.
It's more for show than it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good fun.
In chest exercises in general, you want to have like a big stretch in the bottom, and you feel like you drive with the chest from the basement.
Yes.
And then, as you come up, you don't want to do this.
No.
You want to stay
And lift up. Yeah.
and flex your chest. And a lot of exercises invite this movement. And this is one of them. So done right, I think you can, I never played much with this, to be honest. But done right, you can get, I mean, there's a lot of guys that mostly plays with cable crosses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of ways to do this exercise. One is from underneath, like this. So you will start here, and you will come up to there.
Yeah. Lift the chest up high, right? Yeah.
And then as you come back, you can actually lead up to stretch out the chest.
But I actually think that you also will get a lot of shoulder work because you're going up like that, right?
Yeah.
It must be shoulder work also, right? So it's like
And we are also in an age where the best chest exercise is the one that's less painful on the day. That's the one we're going to play with. I would give this quite low as an exercise, since it doesn't give traction through the whole motion. But you will get a nice pump from it. You get a pretty good stretch. It's a very safe exercise. So all in consideration, would you say like
and
this?
it looked really, really good on movie. When we did the shootings, it really, really good. It looks really, really good.
So
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
C.
Maybe if there is a D, this is a D.
Yeah. It gets some extra points because it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most common way though to do this exercise is like this. Back in the day, in my gym, everything with a cable on it we called the fitness machine. But we said a lot of stupid stuff back then. And you go like that. I would say the reason why this is not as good as the bench is that you can never go super heavy with this. In my world, I think you need a few exercises that are so heavy, so you have to fight to make 2, 3, 4 reps, right? And it's not many exercises that you can do that safely in. If you're going to go really heavy in cable cross, it's going to be a nightmare to take everything out into places. It's going to shake all over, and the risk for injury will just be superior. So, as a stretch exercise, pump exercise, and maybe also, I don't know, I mean, you've been into bodybuilding. Maybe it's bigger in that community than it is in powerlifting.
It's a lot bigger because you will never go for that kind of weight.
So this one is, what do you say?
C?
Yeah, I would say good C,
Yeah.
a solid C.
And the other one was just an average C or D.
The other one was like really happy to be C. He's gonna fall out and be a D any minute soon.
Okay.
But saying that, done right, you can get some really good results out of this machine. So maybe I was a bit rough on the grading, but done is done.
Yeah.
So, old school handle dumbbell press. I would say this is one of the absolutely best exercises. So, together with bench press, superior. It has everything. It was a great strength builder, size builder. Will give you a strong, solid chest, shoulder, and tricep. It's also really good for coordination. I always have my feet up when I do it. So otherwise I tend to arch a little bit and I get less chest work in it. So my recommendation for everyone is to use the dumbbell press. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't use it is because it's quite hard. If you reach a little bit of weight on dumbbell, it's quite the job just to get them up on the right position. But back in the day, this was what we did. Heavy benches, heavy dumbbell presses. Yeah, so this is, once again, a superior exercise. And now we're going to move on to use the same kind of equipment to show you one of the worst ones in my book.
Just before you do, if you have to rank either the bench or the dumbbell press higher?
I'm going to have a conflict within myself. I know that the correct answer is the dumbbell presses. It's safer, will get probably the better result since you get a wider range of motion, you get better stretch, you can move the movement exactly where you want it to be, and you're more fatigued you will get. You will start wide and go like this, and you're more tired you get, you will come in closer. So the right answer is dumbbell press.
Right.
In my own personal book, bench have earned it after 30 years of friendship. So I will always rank that one number one.
Right.
But in all honesty, this is the one. And now we're gonna show you one of the, in my book, one of the shittiest exercises that people tend to do. And I did it myself over and over since Arnold himself used it in pumping iron. Dumbbell flies. I have no idea why people do them. And even shitty things have some good stuff with them. The good thing with dumbbell flies is that it gives you really good stretch. So that's the good thing. So as a stretch exercise, thumbs up. But as a strength builder or a muscle builder, nothing. Since it's only heavy for like 2 decimeters in the bottom and then everything is a free ride. So I don't really see the point. And I tried all kinds of combinations, like inclines, decline, whatever. I don't like them. So apparently somebody with superior imagination has decided to make a machine that simulates the crappiest chest exercise in the gym. So we have to try it and see if he was into something.
It's really, you can do a lot of things.
Put some weight on.
How does it feel?
What can I say?
Not
compared to dumbbell flies, this is pretty good. The reason why this is so much better is because now we actually have a resistance through the whole exercise. But a lot of welding has to be done for flies to work, apparently. You want to give it a go?
I can give it a go.
Not too shabby, huh?
I was expecting an F tier, but no.
No, me too. It looks like a joke, but this is actually pretty good. Let's give it some more kilos and see what happens. Kom så.
This is my favorite exercise. Not my favorite.
Okay,
not my favorite. Actually, my least favorite.
Even less than a dumbbell fly.
No.
So just above a dumbbell
Yeah,
fly.
just about. Yeah, about the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
same. Still F tier.
David needs to eat, that's the thing. He's just hungry.
No.
Well, in all fairness, it's much better than I expected, but it is what it is. It can never compete with bench, dumbbell press, Smith machine even, and some other like more pressing exercises and pressing machines. But for being a flies movement, it's quite nice actually. It's hard to put grading on it. It will probably be like a super weak C.
Super weak seat because the cable flies.
And the normal cable will beat this one any day.
Right.
I've been seeing this shit standing around, so I must give it a go. Internet is full of them. And since we've only been doing chest for an hour and a half,
This is a good idea.
this is a super good idea.
And also these are very, very stable.
Oh yeah, they're the most. Like that.
Yeah. Boom. All the way up.
Should we leave you here? Walk down.
Yeah.
36.5. That's pretty decent.
Next time we don't do it after hour and a half of bench pressing. It's like tricep.
Yeah.
I moved from like C cup to.
Okay.
Normally you would have to go, but I know you're rehabbing, so
I can try,
be my guest.
but not the 30.
Stretch out. You kill it like that. Like that. Oh. Good.
I give up at 25.
Hur känns det?
It's the tricep.
Before you go,
Right?
you have to
Your
you
turn.
have to give a verdict to this one.
Well,
That's a chest
you know,
exercise.
if you find your way, we are in a great gym where we have tons and tons of equipment, but in all honestly, this will give you a really good pump. And for most guys, this is actually enough for get progress. Sometimes I find myself in a good gym and I always try to work out every day in some way or form. Sometimes I have a gym, then I use that. Next time I can find myself in Africa, then I will find a stone in a tree and I will just play with it. If you just put a brick in the wall every day, sooner or later you're gonna have progress. And it's good for the body, at least it clears the head at least. This one you can bring with you, you can pretty much do something similar at any time. So just because of that, I will give it a D.
A D.
Because maybe it deserves more, but I mean, the good thing is you can always do it. And it's much better than it looks.
Yep.
Honestly, it's not so much about the event in the end of the day. It's about how hard you drive. You can make some really good result on really bad equipment if you're just tough enough to fight. And if you're lazy and weak, you can find yourself in the most expensive gym in the world and you're still going to be weak when you leave. It's up to the guy fighting. But of course, if you have a hard fighter in a gym like this, you will make good progress. We're going to rank another classic exercise that you find in every gym in the world pretty much. Once again, we're trying to simulate the fly motion, which all the flies exercises are circular shape movement, and the presses will be front like that. The good thing with this one is that it gives fairly good stretch, and it gives you resistance through the whole range, through the whole motion. The bad is that it tends to be easy to pull with the front deltoids instead of the pecs. It's very important to open up wide so you get the chest apart, and then as you come up, you don't supposed to do like this, you know. You're supposed to press the chest together, which is not so easy. So you just press with the chest. So yeah. You like? Oh, nice. But usually what happens is when it goes heavy is that people pull with everything like this. Shoulder blades together and just tighten the pecs. And then you can actually get pretty good score out of an event like this. But it has its place in training, and mostly I would say it's an end exercise, something to just push blood through the muscles. But we're still talking about the C or D exercise. Maybe a C.
C.
You know, because we're getting towards the end and I feel very friendly, I would say C. But it's also depending on the machine. This is a very nice machine, but yeah, let's give it a weak C.
Yeah.
But next time we have to do legs when you guys come down again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, like straight after the back problems I've had, plus all the Christmas dinners. Because if you're going to go leg training with these guys, you need a bit of a heart to it. And doesn't you agree with, like I said, now we graded all the events here, like the chest events, but the truth is, it's not only about the events, it's about how hard you fight. So
definitely.
you can take the rubbish equipment and fight like hell, and you will get there. So yeah, thank you. This has been a great.
It's been amazing.
And be back for legs in a few
legs
weeks.
another day.
We're going to have home and practice.